Hello and welcome to Math 940 Intermediate Algebra Online. My name is Deanna Green and I'll be your instructor for this semester. This video is going to just take you through how to get through our D2L website that we'll be using for the class this semester. To log into D2L, you need to go to the Inver Hills home website, and then you're going to click on the Student tab up on top here. And then down on the left, you'll see some links, and you want to go to the D2L Online Classroom. And then using your star ID and password, log into this site. So I'm already logged in, and when you log in, you'll come to a page that looks similar to this. Along the right-hand side here will be a list of your courses, and you'll want to click on our course, Intermediate Algebra. And that takes you to the news page. So in the news page, this center area right here is going to be where you'll see all of the news items. And this can get pretty cluttered up as the semester goes along. So you can get rid of some of the news items that maybe you've read already and you don't think that you want to be seeing every time you log in. If you want to get rid of a news item, you just click on this little X right here, and it will get rid of that news item. And then if for whatever reason you decide that you need to go back and view it, or you want it to be back on your news page, then you just click on this little arrow next to the news. And you want to go to the news tool. And then find the one that you want to get back onto your news feed, and it says dismissed right here because we clicked on that little X. To get it undismissed, you would click on this little arrow and then click on restore. And so it says that it's been restored successfully. And to get back to the news area, you just click on this, the name of the course, which is right up here on the top. So that brings us back to the news area. Right now my page looks a little bit different than you might be seeing because I forgot to change my role. So I'm going to do that now, switch over to a student, and then what I have on my screen will look a little bit more like what you would see. Okay, so that's about the news area. Again, this might get pretty cluttered up, so you can click on the X to get rid of items that you no longer want to have in your news area, and then to go back to them, you would click on this little arrow and go to the news tool. The other area of the course that you'll be going to very frequently is the content area. So first we're going to just go along and check out all of these different items along the top here. So in the content area, under course orientation, is where you will find all of the important documents that you should read in this first week. The letter that I sent home, if you were registered for the course by August 8th, you should have gotten a letter from me. And then the Read Me First document, which is basically a checklist of things that you need to complete. There's a questionnaire to see if Math 940 and an online course is the correct choice for you at this time. And then there's a copy of the syllabus. The weekly schedule is posted here. And then this is the instructions on how to get registered on the My Math Lab website, which is where you'll be doing homework problems. There's an online version of the textbook there, and also quizzes will be done using this software. And we'll go through that website in another video. So if you want, you can pick whatever week you want to go to. Week 1 has a lot of repeated stuff from the course orientation, so we'll pick a different week. And most of the weeks will have the same elements in them. They'll always have a checklist for you to go through that has all of the different things that you should complete for the week. And then the learning objectives for the week. Next will be a submodule of the lecture notes and videos that you'll need for that particular week. And you can click on the submodule, and then what you'll see over here on the right is just the notes and the videos. One thing that I'm going to work on is, right now I just have the lecture note and then the video that goes along with it, and then the lecture notes and the video that goes along with it. And so we'll just click on this just so that you can see what the lecture notes look like. And so you should print these off and then watch the video and fill in as you watch. So here's just a copy of this the first one in week 4 lecture videos. And so you would just watch the video and fill in these examples. So the one thing that I'm going to work on is getting all of these so that you can just click on one file and it'll bring up the whole week's worth of lecture notes. And then you would just click on the videos that go along with it. So here's the video that goes along with that lecture note. And these are all posted on YouTube, you'll see. So you could just go directly to my YouTube page and from there as well. So that is how you can get to the lecture notes and videos. And then there will also always be a link right to the MyMathLab website. That's where you'll be doing homework. The online version of the textbook is there, and also the quizzes will be done there. There will always be a link to a worksheet, and then some answers. I haven't given you all of the answers for all of the worksheet problems, but there are always some answers at least provided for the worksheets. And then next is always the Dropbox. So this is a direct link to the Dropbox where you'll be turning in your worksheet. And then the very last item of every week is a discussion board. And you'll be required to post something to the discussion board every week. So basically every week is set up just like this one in the content area. And so you'll always, discussions is the next area up here, and you'll be required to post something to the discussion board each week. The first one is a getting to know you post. My example isn't posted in here yet, but there will be one by the time you get in and start navigating around the site. These are just some questions that you could answer if you want. You can say whatever about yourself you feel comfortable sharing with the class. And again, I'll have a sample of a post of my own that you can look at and follow as well. So each week there's a discussion board. The first one is the Getting to Know You post. And then from there on out, all of these discussion boards, I want you to post questions that you have about homework or a quiz or a worksheet. So some math related questions would go here. If for whatever reason you don't have a math related questions, there are some general topics down below that you could answer. What's your favorite sport? If you had $1 million, what would you do with it? And if there's some topic that you would like to see here that I don't have listed, go ahead and shoot me an email, and I would be more than happy to add some other topics down here for you to post to if you don't have a math-related question. Also, if you don't have a math-related question, you could post in one of these general math question discussion boards an answer to another student's post. I will try to answer the questions as they come up as quickly as possible because I don't want you to have to wait for the answer to your question. But if I haven't answered a question yet that you see, you can go ahead and answer that question. And if for some reason I need to jump in and make any corrections, I will go ahead and do that. The next area here is the Dropbox area. So this is where you would submit all of your worksheets. So there's a worksheet for every week. And to submit your worksheet, you would click on whatever week worksheet you were submitting. And then you would click on Add a File. And then click Upload. And then you would select whatever file it is that you're submitting. And you should only be uploading one file to this every week. It could have several pages, but I don't want you to submit a single file, a file with just one page for your worksheets. So there are 30 of you in the course, and if it's a 2-page worksheet, and you each submit just a single file for each page, then that means that I have, a whole bunch of files to open, a lot more than I should really need to. So I want just one single file from you that has multiple pages, not a whole bunch of files that are a single page. So you would go ahead and just select whatever file it is that you want and then click Open or double click the file that you want. I'm not going to upload anything, and then you would click Add. Once you click Add, then you would submit, and you could make a comment if you have something that you need to say to me about your worksheet. And then when you're done, click on Submit. Okay, and the only two file types that I want you to submit here are either a PDF or a Word document. And there's more about that in the course materials, but those are the only two file types that I want you to submit. I'm going to go into a program called OneNote to grade your worksheets, and Word files and PDF files are the only files that I can put into OneNote. So, and weird things happen when you submit image files. They come up sideways and all kinds of weird things. So, the only two file types I want are Word and PDFs. So, most scanners now can scan right to a PDF file, and if yours doesn't for some reason, then you should be able to copy and paste any image files that you scan onto your computer. You should be able to copy and paste those into Word. The other option is that if you have a smartphone, there's a program that you can use, an app that you can get that will where you can take a picture of your worksheet and then you can save that as a PDF and turn that in. So that's another option. So that's the Dropbox. Next up here is called Links. And so there's a link to My Math Lab. There's also a backdoor, so if My Math Lab gets really busy, sometimes it won't allow you to log in. And if you go click on this backdoor, sometimes this backdoor will work when the main way to log in doesn't work. Here are some video websites. So YouTube is listed here. If you go to YouTube and you type in the learning objective, you should be able to come up with some other videos if for whatever reason you're stuck and you can't seem to get a worksheet problem correct or a quiz question correct. Also a link to Khan Academy. There's a ton of videos there. Again, I would search whatever the learning objective was for those problems that you're trying to work on. And then Math TV also has a bunch of stuff that you could look at as well. One math tool that I have a link to is Wolfram Alpha, and so you can actually go here and enter in a problem and it will solve it for you. And so this is just a way for you to check your work if you want. You need to make sure that you're showing your work on your worksheets, however, because if you don't, then I won't give you credit for it if you don't show your work. The next thing here, the checklist, we're not going to be using, so you can just ignore that. There's a class list here that you can go to, and so all of you are listed in here. And if you want to email the entire class, you would click on this box on top and it will check everybody in the course. Or you could check several individual students and email them if you would like to. I'm also listed in the course list, so you could email me from here as well. And quizzes, there's only one quiz on D2L that you need to worry about, and it's the syllabus quiz. So this has 10 questions related to items that are important about the course that are on the syllabus. So you have 3 attempts, and I believe you have a half an hour each. It shouldn't take you long, and if you have your syllabus right there, you should be able to get through that without a problem. So you would click on this link to the syllabus quiz, and then it has some instructions. And if you're ready to start the quiz, you can go ahead and click Start Quiz and complete it. The last link across the top here is the grades. And so all of the graded items are in the gradebook already, so you can see all of the different things that will be getting graded for the course. There are 16 quizzes and a syllabus quiz. These other 16 quizzes are all on My Math Lab. There's a midterm and the final. And there are 16 worksheets for you to submit for the semester, and then there are actually 14 of these discussion posts. There isn't one for week 8, and there also isn't one for week 16. And then there are also these links across the top here under Help. So if you are wanting some help for D2L, you can click on the Help here. And it has some different topics that you can get information about. And then D2L Help Desk, if you're having issues with D2L for some reason, you would click on this and have them help you with any technical issues that you're having about D2L. Also, student technical support. So if you have some kind of technical issue that you need help with, you would click on that link and submit a ticket to them. And then materials. So you can get to the content area from here. This is the same content link that we looked at right here. The calendar is here. The checklist, which we won't be using. Frequently asked questions is here. So I think I have, oh, there aren't any frequently asked questions. There were some. If I notice that a lot of people are asking the same question, I will add them there. I did have some in another course that I will try to copy over for you as well. And then the links area, that's the same as this links right here. And then the locker is someplace where you can store files right on D2L if you would like. And then under communication, there's chat. So if you'd like to chat with another student or myself, that if we're online, then you can do that through there. You can also access the class list through here, the discussions. These again are the same ones that we saw across the top. And what else might you need here? News area you can get to through here. And then the pager, this would send me a little, I think it makes my computer make a sound, and then it notifies me that you're online and needing some help. And under assessments, so the Dropbox and the grades are here, so you can get to them through there. Also the quiz. So those 3 links you could use there, but they're also across the top, so you probably wouldn't go here for them. And that's about the only thing that you might need from there. And then there's the academic support. There's a link to the Math Center and the library in here, peer tutoring, the Writing Center, online tutoring, and some Noodle tools there. Student services, so there's a bunch of student services that are listed here, and the link to their websites. And again, if you want to get back to the news area, you can click on the name of the course up here on the top, and that will bring you back to the news area. And that will be about it for our little tour on D2L. If you have any questions about anything, please let me know. Thanks.